Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on KS0 Nightmare, the game has just launched, and so we're at that point where if you're going to be wanting to reroll, now is the best time to do it, because the game just launched. Now I will say, having gone through the process once, and I will say that only once, it is going to be a little bit tedious, I feel like, for a lot of people, but to a certain extent it could be worth it depending on what you're looking for. Now, we're going to actually be watching a recording right now. Well, it's not a recording. I'm currently live, and we're going to just be watching the part where I started. And that is because I actually got lucky on the very first roll and got the, I wouldn't say limited unit. They're not limited units. They get added to the normal banner after they fall off. But I actually got the raid up unit on my very first 10 pull. So, I don't want to go through the reroll process, and you'll kind of see why when we go through it here. I'm going to kind of showcase what you need to do, and when we get to the actual banners, I'll kind of explain it. It's not exactly like I had talked about in my other video, and it's not completely clear on the probabilities and pity carryover and all that. And so we only got, at this point, you're only going to be able to get 30 pulls, and it's going to be 20 on the standard banner and 110 pull for the limited / raid up banner. And you have to do a little bit of, you have to go in the shop and use the conversion currency to actually get to that 10 pull, which I'll talk about here in a second. But let's just go through it. Now we're watching, this is, like I said, this isn't gonna be like normal games that I've done when I covered reroll, for the simple fact I'm not going to be going through the reroll process again. I don't want to delete this account because I got the raid up. So we'll just kind of fast forward through it in here. So I'm at where I had to change some settings. So you have the introduction. You're just going to push through this. One of the things is right off the bat, there isn't a skip button. You have a fast forward button right here. Just hold that down. You'll see me click it and hold it, and it'll go in the fast forward mode. You have to like watch all the cutscenes. It'll have some interruptions here and there, and then you'll get into a battle like you can kind of see here. Now, if you haven't played this game or anything yet, or you weren't in the beta on that, the biggest thing, it's like a mix of Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon. But you have these cards, which are kind of like your attack ability cards. They have like attacks, they can give shields, and do all their little things here and there. Mostly the tutorial is going to tell you what to do in the beginning. But as you can kind of see here, you go through. The easiest way is just keep clicking on everywhere. It's like it'll highlight areas, as you can see here. Just click the arrow, click confirm. Just find, it's up saying use this card, use that card, and just kind of push through it. Like any other tutorials in any other gacha games, just push through them as quickly as you can. As you can see here, I'm just clicking through. Now, when you run out of AP down here, it will, you can't see it because my camera is currently over it, and it is over it on the stream as well. But there's a little button to say next turn. You'll just click that down in the bottom right. It'll go to the next, the enemies will do their turn, and then it'll go back to yours. And the tutorial handholds you, so you really can't lose. Just take the cards and spam them on the enemies. Just take your damage ones, your shield ones, just throw them all out there. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing that over and over. And it's no problem at all. You're going to push through the story like any normal reroll process. Go ahead and name yourself. More story, hold the skip button here. You'll push through that. And so you're going to do this for a little bit. You're just going to keep pushing through story, another boss. It's not going to handhold you as much as you get farther into these battles. Just grab cards and throw them up. You're not going to lose these ones. There is one fight you can lose, which did happen to me when I was just spamming the cards. It's going to teach you about the collapse status and all that here. Just throw the card. It highlights the cards. Just use them. Go to your next turn. Push through there. And once you get through that... Okay. Now, this is a boss you're going to lose to. You can't win this one. It's just you throw cards at it. Eventually, I think Maya, her name, she jumps up, gets wrecked in part of the story. I think you can skip these cutscenes. I skipped a couple of them. I didn't notice the skip it there. But a lot of the cutscenes like that, you can click, and there'll be a skip button in the top right. There are some longer ones that you might want to do that for. But you'll just kind of push through. Yeah, you can see it right there in the top. I used it right there. So as you're in the cutscene, I clicked, and you can see in the top right. So whenever it does the cutscenes, you can, if you don't want to watch them, click skip on them. Push through to the next plot, to skip through, go through. Okay, then it does the very first tutorial pull after this one. This one just guarantees you the next 4-star unit that's going to kind of join your party to go rescue that one girl that got left behind. You'll push into that next mission. It's going to teach you to assign her instead onto your team here. You're going to drop down and start another fight. Now this is where it's kind of like the darkest dungeon mode. It's going to showcase here, right here. And so this is just like where you're slowly moving through a area here. You're not going to really have to think about this at all. It's just going to guide you. You're just going to click the next one like every time. And you're going to enter fights. It's going to teach you a little bit, a couple other things like weaknesses and all that. And then you just push through the fights. Then it's going to have you go to the next area, which is a little rest stop area where you rest. If you've played any games like Darkness Dungeons, kind of think of it as like your safe zone interactions here. So just make sure you rest, get your stress reduction, your healing, and all that. And then it'll have you take you to the next area. It's going to force you to make the decision to take the weapon. It's just part of the tutorial. Just follow what it tells you to do, get into the fight. This one, you can just spam your cards, kill this boss. And then go to this one. This one you can't lose either. At least I didn't. It didn't seem like you lose. It did almost nothing. Just spam cards for like 2 turns. You'll defeat this one. And then you'll push into this. This is where it's teaching you like one of the buffs that this lady gives out. Where you make a selection on obtaining a card for one of your characters. I don't think it matters here at all. I just selected the middle one immediately. And then you come to like the main boss. This one you can lose, which you can see right here. I do lose to it in the beginning. So make sure to use all of your cards. So I used only some of them, and I didn't realize that I kind of used them in the incorrect order here. But I ran out of AP, and then he just came in. Oh, right. Yeah, right here. I didn't use the heal, I think. And let's see, because I do end up losing. But make sure you use your heal correctly, or you're going to die when he comes in and attacks you on the next turn. So, which if you do get, which I don't know if it shows it here. I think I might have skipped through it. Yeah, right here. You can see in the top left, that's what kind of is going to happen when you lose. And then if you do end up losing, it's not a big deal. You just click retry and do that mission again. So push through that. And then in just more story, push through the story. And this is this is going to take like 15 minutes if you're like mass spamming this. Then, okay. This is where we're going to teach you a fight. Okay, so I go in here. This is, I open the mail. Okay, so then after that, you're going to have the lobby opened. The first thing is, it's going to want you to do this fight. When you go in here and it asks you to start it, I click it and then I cancel out of it. That way you don't even have to go into the fight here. But once you get to the battle mission part of the tutorial where it's teaching you about the lobby, just cancel out of it and you are basically at the part where you're going to reroll. And so from here, you'll open up the menu. You'll see a little mailbox icon. That's the big thing you want to go to first. This is where all the pre-registration rewards are in currency. Just go ahead and do that. It's going to give you the free pre-registration character. So she's going to show up right off the bat. Bam, right there. Amir, range team. And then after that, it's going to show you all the currencies. So the big thing is these orange ones are your standard pulls. So you get 23 of those. Okay, going to talk about that. Yep, okay. Then, okay, I was showcasing, if this is where I don't show it here. I'll switch to the game to kind of show it, but right here is where you can delete your account. So that little red box here says delete account. If you don't like your results of your reroll, that's where you're going to delete it. But after that, I went out of there. So when you go to the banner here, which is going to be under rescue, this is where all the pulls are done. There is multiple banners, and I can now kind of probably just go in the game. It might be easier to show. But, okay, let me switch it over. So you get through the story, you're going to get here. So you're going to go into the rescue here, and this is where the banners are. And so at the top here is the, this one is the Raid Up banner that has Haru. And then you have what the equivalent of a weapon, which is Asteria. So they're called partners. So you got to be very careful on this because the weapons are also characters, but they effectively work like a weapon if you played like any Hoyoverse, or if you like played HSR. Think of it as like a relic, or not relic, light cone card or light card. I don't even remember what they call it, but it's your weapon effectively. This is the actual character banner. This one's, and they just call them partners. Then you have the special request beginner banner with the 20% discount. And then you have the just normal standard banner. They even followed the Hoyoverse model of after you do 300 pulls on this one, you can select one of the standard units. But if you remember when you played, like I played HSR, it took a while to actually get to that 300. Because you're never going to want to use your currency on this banner. You're only going to want to use the free ones they give. Now, don't make the mistake I made, because I wouldn't call it a mistake, but my original plan was not to get super lucky on the very, very first one. But you want to do this one actually first with how many pulls they give us. So you're going to get the equivalent of 8 pulls for the limited banner. And then you're going to get the equivalent of, so I did 110 pull here, and I did 110 pull here, and this one's discounted 8, so I used 18, so 24 pulls here. What you're going to want to do first, because you only have 8 pulls here, you want to do 20 pulls here first. After you do the 20 pulls here, depending on if you get, if you're targeting a very specific character, you may get them here, and you might be happy and good to go. But after the 20 pulls here, what you can do is go into the shop here and go to the memory archive, go to Traveler, and you'll have these things right here that you'll accumulate from these pulls. This is like any of the Hoyoverse systems where after you get 150, you can convert it to a single pull, a limit of 5 per month. And so you're going to want to end up buying all these at some point. I don't know if this resets. I mean, it's going to be end of this month. I don't know when this is actually going to reset, but it probably is going to be end of this month. So you're going to want to try and buy all these anyway. So, but you will get from those 20 pulls enough to buy 2 of these. So you're going to take the 2 of these you get, go back into the rescue, and now you can do a single 10 pull here. Now, if you don't care about Hadu, you don't care about her at all, then don't even reroll on this one, because looking at the probability, it's not clear that pity actually carries over. So my whole idea of rerolling on this one to a lost 50-50 does not seem to be worth it. So I actually ended up getting her on my stinking very first 10 pull. So I'm basically, that's why I'm doing it this way versus actually walking through it completely, because I basically said I'm done. I don't want to mess with it because it's very confusing in how it's worded, and until someone actually tests it out, I would not re-roll with that risk, because nothing states in here that we can find that the pity's carrying over at this point. So unless you care about her, I would not roll on this one. And you're only going to have the equivalent to do 110 pull here. And it's a 50-50 if you read through the rate up. So that's up to you if you want her or not. I wanted her, so I'm going to go ahead and take this account and be happy with it. But just know, you're basically getting the equivalent of 30 at this point. There's always the chance they may give us more, and this may evolve over time. But it's definitely not worth it to waste your pulls on this one right away. Now, you're not going to have enough to go all the way to 50 on this one either. So it's going to take... You're just going to have to get that lucky early pull either on this one or this one. And I think that's where you call it there. If you want to go crazy, you can go for 2. But with 30 pulls, if I pull up the math here, we'll just pull it up so you can kind of see what the math is if you want to shoot for getting 2 in rerolls. And just know, this is like a 20 to 25 minute process. This isn't a 15 to 20. It takes a little bit of time because you have to go and actually buy and convert that currency after you do your first 20 pulls. So if I go to here, we'll just go catch calculator. So we're going to say you get 30 pulls, probability of 1% of getting something. So 73% of the time you're going to get nothing. 22% of the time you're going to get one thing. And then 3% of the time, or 3.28% of the time, you're going to get two. And now if you're really wanting Hadu, which is a single 10 pull, you have a 9% chance, but it's actually 0.5% because you have the 50-50. You have a 4% chance to get her. And so that's 1 in 25 reruns. If you think a rerun's 25 minutes or 20 to 25 minutes, that is a lot of time. That is what? So you're looking at, we'll just round down at 20 minutes, 25. Man, why am I not able to do math? That's like 450. Yeah, 450 minutes. And so that's a lot of time. Now, if you want to sit here for 5 to 10 hours rerolling, have at it. But that's why I'm actually done and calling it good, because I don't want to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much the reroll process. This very well may evolve over time. If there's any codes that have been added at this time, doesn't look like there's any launch codes to use to get more pulls or anything. That could change. Just know that the probabilities of change a little bit more, especially if you can guarantee. If they ever give us enough codes to get up to the guarantee, I think it might just be worth it to do the guarantee and get the character, because the tutorial to get to this point actually is pretty tedious and annoying. I think I'm seeing a lot of people say it's not worth it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought I'd just go ahead and quickly cover it now that the launch is out. But yeah, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask in the comments. I'm going to try and respond to them as I see it. But yeah, if you like my content, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.